Right now at noon, we have team coverage of an unprecedented presidential election as Wisconsin voters head to the polls. And another unplanned bye for Badger football, COVID putting their season on the brink.
This is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in. It is finally Election Day. The polls in Wisconsin have been open for over 5 hours now. We have team coverage of and Rock counties, what counties to keep an eye on in the Badger State, and when we could see results. First, let's start with Josh Sprider, who has more of the Madison turnout. He's downtown live. Josh?
Hey, Mark, good afternoon. We're 5 hours in, and it's been relatively quiet so far, especially here in downtown Madison. The numbers definitely down as many people voted absentee this year. We're going to bring in Dane County Clerk Scott McDonald to give us a little update, and this is something you kind of expected with as many as absentee votes as you had.
Yeah, I expected polls would be quiet as far as voters. We're looking at 70–80% of ballots being voted absentee, so that means there's just not that many people to vote in person.
What would be your message to those coming out to vote today? Obviously, we've seen a few people going in and out of the polls down here.
Yeah, it's a great day to vote. It's warm, there's no lines, so if you haven't voted yet, come on down.
And obviously, this is kind of a different year, right? So what can people kind of expect as far as COVID precautions in the polls here in Madison?
Yeah, well, this is our third election, so the poll workers really have it down. There's social distancing, there's wiping down on the machines, you don't use the same pen, so overall it's pretty safe. Yeah,
and it's been pretty quiet. What, estimated maybe 5 minutes in and out of the polls today?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
All right, well, Scott, we appreciate your time. We know we'll be checking in with you throughout the day. That's it for here in Dane County, but we're going to check out what's going on in Rock County. That's where we find our Taylor Lazenby live this afternoon. Hi, Taylor.
Hi, Josh. That's right. In Wisconsin, we've seen some riots and looting from civil unrest earlier this year. We've seen some shops on our way in that were boarded up with their windows for security reasons, alerting fears of what the election could possibly spark some violence. Now, here in Janesville, we asked voters that were going in to cast their vote if they are worried about what's to come after Election Day. Some say they're not worried, but others say that it's a frightening fear of theirs.
Not so much what's going to happen tonight and tomorrow is going to happen. I'm more worried about how people are going to act today at the polls and everything. That is a big concern of mine.
Well, a big issue here on the ballot is the Black Hawk referendum. If voted yes, the voters will be asked to help pay for a new training area for students focused on transportation, police, and firefighter situations and electoral power. If you voted absentee and are worried whether your ballot that you mailed in will be counted, they say it's best to check out myvote.wi.gov. Reporting in Rock County, Taylor Lazenby, News 3 Now.
Taylor and Josh, thank you. Madison's clerk put out a list of 10 things you need to know before you head to the polls. First, verify your polling place at myvote.wi.gov, as Taylor just mentioned. They say if you are in line to vote at 8 p.m., stay in line. The addresses on your voter ID does not matter. Proof of address is only needed when you're registering to vote or updating your voter registration. A reminder to voters who have absentee ballots, you need to bring them to the polling place today. To see the full list of things voters need to know when heading to the polls, head to our website, channel3000.com. County clerks in Wisconsin say as of this morning, more than 93% of absentee ballots have been returned. Overall, clerks issued more than 2 million absentee ballots, including nearly 650,000 in-person absentee ballots. As of this morning, over 1.8 million Wisconsinites have already voted. Just a reminder, voters can return completed absentee ballots to the polls or drop off locations or spoil their uncompleted absentee ballots and vote in person. Voters can also register to vote at the polls. Wisconsin's Election Commission says as of Sunday, there were 3.68 million registered voters, while there are around 4.2 million eligible voters in the state. According to a survey of election officials, more than 100 million ballots have already been cast nationwide. These votes represent more than 47% of registered voters across the U.S. 21 states and Washington, D.C. have seen more than half of the registered voters cast ballots already. The 100 million plus ballots already cast represent 73% of the ballots cast in the 2016 presidential election. We'll be watching results from counties across the state as they come in tonight, including some swing spots that might decide which way Wisconsin and the entire country votes. Leah Lynchite is here with more on that. Leah.
Hi there, Mark. Yeah, you might recall the New York Times is naming a handful of Wisconsin counties out of a list of 20 nationwide that could help decide the entire election. Let's take a look. First up, lots of eyes are on the Fox Valley, specifically Brown, Outagamie, and Winnebago counties. All three voted for Obama back in 2008, went narrowly for Mitt Romney in 2012, then overwhelmingly supported Trump in 2016. So these purple counties could decide Wisconsin. Now to the suburbs around Milwaukee, the so-called WOW counties, Washington, Ozaukee, and Waukesha. They're traditionally red, but they're increasingly turning purple. Biden is hoping to make some inroads here, even if they don't flip completely blue. And a couple bellwether counties that could be predictors of how the state as a whole votes, Grant and Sauk counties. Both have voted for the winner of the Oval Office in the last 3 elections. Now, big turnouts in big blue counties like Dane and Milwaukee will also prove important to the outcome of today's election. We'll also be watching Kenosha County now that it's become part of the national conversation surrounding race and polling. Mark?
It should be an exciting night. Thank you, Leah. Milwaukee County could be the last county in the state to report results. News 3's now Chris Stanford is tracking the enormous undertaking going on there right now. Chris.
Yeah, hey, Mark. Everybody's asking when. When will we know who won Wisconsin? Well, that could come down to Milwaukee County, which has a lot of absentee ballots to count. That process is actually underway right now. We wanted to show you a live feed of that count in the city of Milwaukee. Right now, these folks are counting some 175,000 absentee ballots. They'll bring in about 400 workers in shifts today to do that. These folks started counting right at 7 a.m. That's the legal time they could start counting those absentee ballots. There are at least 10 counting machines there right now to tabulate those results as well. Now, Milwaukee election officials estimate they may not be done counting all of those ballots until maybe 3 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, let's talk about Milwaukee County. The county saw a record number of absentee voters. Milwaukee County will have more than 425,000 absentee ballots to count on top of everybody who shows up to the polls today. Mark, so if the state is still in play early tomorrow morning, all eyes could very well be on Wisconsin.
It could be a long night. Chris, thank you. Besides the presidential race, there are 8 congressional seats up for grabs in Wisconsin, one of them in our area, the 1st Congressional District. The race is between the incumbent Republican Brian Stile and Democrat Roger Pollack. And in the 2nd District, incumbent Democrat Mark Pocan will face off against Republican Peter Theron. There are more than a dozen races for seats in the state assembly, and 2 current members are hoping to move up into the state Senate. Republican Assembly member Joanne Balwig is running against Democrat Joni Anderson in the 14th District. Assemblymember Melissa Sargent, a Democrat, is running against Republican Scott Barker. Law enforcement across the country is preparing for what could be violent protests over the election. A new steel fence went up around the White House yesterday, and there is concern that crowds could take to the streets with opportunists looking to destroy property and loot businesses. The NYPD says it will work with 40 agencies to monitor activity on its Joint Operations Center. Federal officials will monitor tonight's developments from a command center at the FBI headquarters. An independent report found that 5 states are especially at risk for civilian militia activity this week, including Wisconsin. Our entire team at News 3 Now will be working to bring you live local coverage throughout election night. We'll be streaming local content nonstop on channel3000.com and our streaming app, Channel 3000 Plus. Head to channel3000.com/apps to find your connection to our coverage. Again, that's channel3000.com/apps. A mild and sunny day to get out and vote. Let's head to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Hattie McLean has a look at your first warn forecast. The weather is not an excuse not to vote today.
Certainly, Mark. It's a beautiful day. Couldn't have ordered a better day if I tried. We have sunshine outside here in Madison and across all of southern Wisconsin. Take a look at weather track zoomed into the southern part of the state. You're not seeing anything on this map because there just is no cloud cover in the area. Skies will stay crystal clear through the afternoon. Temperatures at this lunch hour jumping pretty quickly. We're already into the 60s in many locations, pretty close to 70 even through the Wisconsin River Valley. So our forecast has high temperatures in the low 60s to mid 60s today across southern Wisconsin. As those polls close, temperatures will still be in the 50s at 8 p.m. tonight. Now, we know that this nice stretch of weather is going to last for a while, but coming up in just a few minutes, we'll take a peek at that weekend forecast.
All right, Hattie, we'll see you then. Thank you. Right now, there have been over 233,000 cases of COVID-19 in Wisconsin Madison. That includes 2,082 deaths. Over 48,000 cases remain active. Wisconsin football game against Purdue this weekend has been canceled. UW football says 27 players and staff tested positive for COVID-19. That includes 15 student athletes and 12 staff members. The Badgers had to cancel their game last week against Nebraska. All football activities remain on pause. The Badgers need to play at least 6 games in order to compete for the Big Ten title. And the Packers will be without another part of their offense against the 49ers on Thursday. The NFL says that running back Jamal Williams and linebacker Kamal Martin are considered high-risk close contacts with A.J. Dillon, who tested positive for COVID-19. That means the Packers could be without their only 3 running backs against San Francisco. Starting running back Aaron Jones has been sidelined for 2 weeks with a calf injury. The NFL Network is reporting that Tyler Irving and Dexter Williams will be the 2 running backs for Green Bay. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Join me today as I share one of the best food buys in the market and show you how to turn it into a dish that'll make you feel all warm and cozy.
I've always had jobs centered on helping people, but now with a nursing degree from Herzing University, I've made it a career.
Having a job was one thing, but having a career, to me, that meant something completely different. With a little hard work and a degree from Herzing University, anything is possible.
I'm possible at Herzing.
Knoll Manor Retirement Living in Verona provides extraordinary supportive living with compassion and grace. We offer independent living, assisted living, and closer care living options. We understand that staying social is important to everyone's well-being. That's why Knoll Manor provides engaging activities and ways to stay active and connect with others. There's yoga, bingo, outdoor music, and so much more, all while keeping your health and safety in mind. Knoll Manor Living. Welcome home. Contact us today to set up your virtual tour.
Hi, Andrew Larson here with Larson Home Services. The year is drawing to a close, but there's still time to avoid that nasty, dangerous autumn chore, cleaning out your gutters. A new Leaf Guard gutter system will be the last gutters you'll ever need. They're guaranteed to never clog, or my team will come and clean them for free. You'll love how they look and how they perform.
They're the best. I don't have to worry about the gutters getting clogged up with the seeds, the branches, the dirt, the roof sheddings, and it's just one less worry for me.
That's great to hear. And right now, your Leaf Guard gutter system comes with the best offer of the year. Free installation labor, plus no interest for 12 months, and call now and get a $100 Visa gift card with your new Leaf Guard gutter system. Don't wait. Take advantage of our best offer of the year. Call now for your free estimate.
He's our independent voice who answers to no one but us, Todd Novak. Todd Novak is working across the aisle, passing the bipartisan COVID-19 relief bill, helping hospitals and communities get the resources needed to fight the coronavirus. Todd Novak is helping families, small businesses, and farmers as we work to rebuild the economy safely. And Todd Novak led the bipartisan effort to make sure our water is clean and safe for future generations. Our voice, Todd Novak for State Assembly.
If you've been to the market lately, it's pretty obvious that our fall produce is at its peak. And when it comes to a favorite, I would have to say that I love just about any kind of squash. There's a load of them, but let me show you a few. This is an acorn squash. It gets its name since it's shaped like an acorn. As you can see, the outside is dark green, and it's got some patches of orange. On the inside, the flesh is a light creamy orange. These turban-shaped ones are known as buttercup squash. Once they're cut, they smell like a fragrant cucumber. As for their taste, they're very mild and sweeter than most other squash. Now, for the granddaddy of them all, the butternut squash. They're easily recognized by their tan skin and their distinct bell shape. All of these are great to roast in our oven, saute in a skillet, or steam or boil on our stovetop. And if you love soup, you're going to love how warm and cozy a bowl of our roasted harvest squash soup makes you feel. To get the recipe, all you have to do is visit our website. Your taste buds will be glad you did. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a superb way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Thank you, Howard. Getting my mask off here. Beautiful day today to get out and vote, and it looks like it's going to be great all week. How do you think it's forecast?
General Heating and Air Conditioning. Our large fleet of service vehicles are nearby, and our mobile fabrication shops allow us to save you time and money. When your home comfort system needs servicing or replacing, turn to the experts at Carrier and General Heating and Air Conditioning.
Menards has the best and brightest ideas for lighting your home. From improving your home's curb appeal to adding peace of mind, get big savings on our great selection of exterior lighting. From traditional to contemporary and everything in between. Find your style with outdoor lights from Patriot Lighting. Right now, they're all 11% off. Save with 11% off everything at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm a mom, a grandma, and a business owner. Our family repaired 3 barns and a 100-year-old farmhouse for our small business. I was raised to believe in hard work and that a person's word is sacred. As your assemblywoman, I'll work hard for our small towns and family farms, to rebuild our schools and main streets, and be your fiscal watchdog to make sure our tax dollars come back to work for us here at home.
If a physical or emotional condition keeps you from working, Social Security should pay disability benefits. Often it doesn't, and deserving people are denied. I'm attorney Don Becker. Don't give up. In Wisconsin, we've turned thousands of disability denials into approvals. Disability law is all we do.
Call the Becker Law Office, 1-800-254-7766.
General Heating and Air Conditioning. Our large fleet of service vehicles are nearby, and our mobile fabrication shops allow us to save you time and money. When your home comfort system needs servicing or replacing, turn to the experts at Carrier and General Heating and Air Conditioning.
Wisconsin's votes will matter. That's why on election night, News 3 Now is committed to covering the local vote live on Channel 3000 and on our digital streaming service, Channel 3000 Plus. Download it now. Join the News 3 Now team as we track an election like no other.
Wednesday morning, it's the day after the election, and the question is, what comes next?
We'll have political analysts breaking down what we know and what we don't, and hear from the head of Madison schools on what's next after their referendum was on the ballot.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Well, investors opt for optimism amid Election Day uncertainty and the aromas of adulthood in a toy aisle favorite. Diane King Hall has more in today's Money Watch report.
The economic and earnings calendar is sparse today, but investors took an optimistic view about the presidential election as Americans cast their ballots and Wall Street went on a buying spree ahead of the results. Meanwhile, more layoffs are looming as the coronavirus pandemic continues to hurt the economy. According to the Conference Board, about 1 in 10 businesses plans to cut more jobs this year. And although the latest jobs report showed improvement, outplacement firm Challenger Gray & Christmas says we will continue to see unprecedented levels of job cuts. Apple is slated to host a 3rd product launch next Tuesday. The company didn't give any hints on what it plans to reveal, but the event is titled One More Thing. Insiders say it is likely something to do with its first Mac product powered by its new Apple Silicon chip. And first, there were coloring books for adults, and now Hasbro is out with Play-Doh products for adults dubbed grown-up scents. Some of the scents include Lawn Smell, Mom Jeans, Grill King, and Overpriced Latte. The 6-pack of Play-Doh sells for about $12, but if you want to get your hands on some, you'll have to wait. The products are currently sold out on Amazon. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to CBSMoneyWatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Diane King Hall.
Diane, thank you. Let's check those numbers on Wall Street. The Dow Industrial's up 520 points. The NASDAQ up 211. The S&P 500 gaining 59. Q106 Farm Director Pat Miyake out of the radio barn today. So here are your farm numbers. And we'll be back tomorrow. Hattie is here today with a spectacular forecast.
Yeah, I really want to be outside, not inside today. It is a gorgeous day across southern Wisconsin. Take a live look from our Queen Bee Radio Sky Camera in Platteville. No clouds in play there. Temperatures are warming pretty quickly across the region as well. Now, of course, no precipitation on the map around here. We'll zoom it out so you can see what's happening around the country on this election day. We have had some very light snow showers in New England. Those are diminishing. They shouldn't be a huge factor in the forecast there. Also some rain moving onshore in the Pacific Northwest. But other than that, the midsection of the country very dry for this election day. Here's a look at your future track forecast, and you can see that as we put the map into motion, outside of some clouds through the Mountain West, really not a whole lot happening across the country. So let's go down south and take a look at Hurricane Ada. It is a very strong Category 4 storm. It's been sitting and spinning just off the coast of Nicaragua all morning long, battering the coastline there. Winds are around 140 miles an hour, gusting to 170 miles an hour. Now, for comparison's sake, you need to get to 156 miles an hour to be a Category 5 storm. So this is a pretty strong Category 4 storm. It's about 30 miles off the coast right now. Now, take a look at the main hazards from this particular storm system. And again, catastrophic wind damage is expected. Again, those winds sustained at 140 miles an hour, gusting even higher. Flooding and landslides with 15 to 25 inches of rain from this storm. Dangerous storm surges as well. Looks like that tide is expected to be anywhere from 14 to 21 feet above the normal tide level. So you can imagine how many problems that would cause. Now, the storm system, again, about 30 miles offshore, will make landfall today as a Category 4 storm. Once it moves over land, it's expected to weaken rather quickly over the next 24 to 48 hours. However, the steering upper-level winds are going to turn this storm more towards the north and northeast, back out over the warm waters of the Caribbean. Now, what happens next? There are lots of question marks, but this storm may re-intensify and, in turn, impact parts of the United States as we head into next week. Still, many question marks as to the next chapter for this storm system, but one to watch closely as we go through the weekend. A little closer to home here, though, we have a pretty easy forecast coming up for the next couple of days. Temperatures are jumping quickly. We're at 62 now in Madison with sunny skies. There is a south-southwesterly wind around 10 miles an hour right now. Take a look at the current temperatures. Some 70s on the map. Camp Douglas, Black River Falls already at 70 degrees, 66 in Janesville. Over the next 12 hours, winds will be a little breezy through the afternoon, 10 to 15 miles an hour, but then they will diminish this evening. Your feature track forecast calls for lots of sunshine as we go through the day today. Temperatures are still going to stay in the 50s through the evening hours as the polls close tonight. Take a look at that extended forecast then as well. Temperatures hitting highs in the 60s for several days. In fact, all the way through the weekend. No major changes have been made to the forecast at all, Mark. If anything, we just keep tweaking those numbers up a little bit.
Unbelievable for the first week of November.
It is, and to have 6 days of that nice
might have a day or two.
Right, but
We'll
what a
take
week.
it. We'll take it. Thank you, Hattie. Ahead on News 3 Now at noon, what you need to know before you head to the polls today. Stay with us.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I want a reservation for 2 pair of glasses and an eye exam. Oh, you can just walk in. I see. My reputation precedes me. Actually, we do this for everyone. I'm going to pretend you didn't say that. Boop, gone.
Unbeatable prices without the drama. 2 pair plus a free eye exam as low as $59.95.
I'm a mom, a grandma, and a business owner. Our family repaired 3 barns and a 100-year-old farmhouse for our small business. I was raised to believe in hard work and that a person's word is sacred. As your assemblywoman, I'll work hard for our small towns and family farms, to rebuild our schools and main streets, and be your fiscal watchdog to make sure our tax dollars come back to work for us here at home.
Are you happy with your Medicare plan? Want to get more for your money? Take a look at Quartz Medicare Advantage plans in partnership with UW Health. Quartz Medicare Advantage plans start at $0 a month, including coverage for medical, hospital, and prescriptions. with $5 primary care visits, $0 preventive care, and $0 telehealth visits. It's no wonder that 98% of our Medicare Advantage members stay with Quartz. Learn more by requesting your free planning guide from Quartz today. Quartz also offers more value, including dental, vision, and hearing benefits. And Quartz gives you extras, like dollars for over-the-counter products and fitness benefits, from a plan that works closely with your doctor to take great care of you. This year, switch to Quartz Medicare Advantage. Call or go online to request your free planning guide from Quartz today.
Knoll Manor Retirement Living in Verona provides extraordinary supportive living with compassion and grace. We offer independent living, assisted living, and closer care living options. We understand that staying social is important to everyone's well-being. That's why Knoll Manor provides engaging activities and ways to stay active and connect with others. There's yoga, bingo, outdoor music, and so much more, all while keeping your health and safety in mind. Knoll Manor Living. Welcome home. Contact us today to set up your virtual tour.
Stanton Optical is always here for you with our safe telehealth technology. You can just walk in for an eye exam whenever you need one, and your eye exam is free when you buy 2 pair of glasses for as low as $59.95. Find your nearest store at StantonOptical.com or call 1-800-STANTON.
Well, about 7.5 hours until the polls close. If you are headed to the polls to vote, just a reminder, you should verify your polling place at myvote.wi.gov. Don't forget to bring your ID, and if you are registering, proof of residency. Officials say if you are in line to vote at 8 p.m., stay in line. If you have an absentee ballot, you will need to drop them off at the polling place today. Also, results will be coming in later than usual as states have different laws in place when it comes to when they can count the ballots. And just another reminder that our entire team at News 3 Now will be working to bring you live local coverage throughout election night. We'll be streaming local content nonstop on channel3000.com and our streaming app, Channel 3000 Plus. Head to channel3000.com/apps to find your connection to our coverage. Again, that's channel3000.com/apps. Beautiful day to get out and vote, Hattie.
It certainly is. We have sunshine as we look from our Edgewater Sky camera down at the Capitol in downtown Madison this morning. Skies are clear across all of southern Wisconsin. Thought I'd take a peek at temperatures statewide. It's 68 in Eau Claire right now. Even Superior is 67 degrees at this lunch hour. Temperatures as we go through the day are going to be quite mild across southern Wisconsin. We're going to see highs in the mid to upper 60s with that sunshine and a southwesterly wind. Again, the weekend forecast is looking absolutely great. We have sunshine and dry conditions expected right as we head through the weekend. Those 60s are going to continue into the weekend. And then next week, Mark, the bottom falls out a little bit, but just be aware that we have several days of this gorgeous weather coming up.
All right. Thank you, Hattie. That's our time for now. We'll be back with updates on the top of the hour all afternoon as we watch the race to the White House. Stay with us.